Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Football Fignuts podcast. If you're keeping track at home, and you should be because you really want to listen to these in order because it is a week-to-week podcast, there is some sort of system to this. This is Season 4, Episode 26, or number 176 overall. My name is Britt.
I'm Craig.
And Craig, we've reached Week 17 somehow. In this
Nice.
insane of 2020, we have reached Week 17. We have one more week long. Championships are done. You know, let's start where we always start, and then I got to ask you, Craig, what are you drinking?
So tonight, I have a new beer.
Ooh.
This beer is from Two Roads, hashtag sponsor us. This is a new beer by them. This is a double bock beer.
Accelerator?
Accelerator.
There are two cans of that in my fridge that I have not tried yet.
I have not tried this yet either. Here's the thing. You know, I am big on can art, bottle art.
Mm-hmm.
The art on this can is super, especially if you were into Transformers or, dare I say, GoBots.
It does look like if a GoBot had a baby with a Transformer.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know how copyright on that works, but, you know, we'll go with it.
It's probably different enough from each of the two licensed entities, Bush, that they can get away with it. The big difference between a GoBot and a Transformer, other than like the functionality of it, was GoBots were very rugged. Like, you could tell they took a scooter and made it into a robot. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yes.
Like, it was it like had sharp edges. Like, the shoulders weren't
definitely
curved.
hurt yourself with those.
Yeah, I mean, it was very clear that they were looking for functionality over appearance with the GoBots. Transformers, they were like, oh yeah, no, we want the engine parts to be smooth so that when the shoulders pop out, when the wheels pop out, there's some smoothness to it there. We don't want any eyes poked out. We want this to be aesthetically pleasing and okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a double bock beer. So this is, you know, brown, tannish. You definitely cannot see through it.
It's German.
It's German. It is.
It is.
All right, let's give it a swirl.
And while Craig is giving it a swirl, I will relate that I am not drinking tonight because tomorrow is Bro Year's Eve, and it is the one day of the year that I am allowed to drink without feedback.
Wanton abandon.
Yeah, with wanton abandon without feedback. So so I'm going to do that tomorrow. It's usually a day trip to Two Roads, and it's about 8 or 9 beers over the course of like 5 hours. I usually cut really pretty good loose.
Everyone's very happy when they leave, generally.
Yeah, I mean, particularly the Uber drivers who make a lot of money off of us when we leave. Like last year. First, tell me about your beer. Tell me about the.
So this beer, you know, I've had double box before, and it's not a beer for everyone. This is very smooth, and the flavor is not overpowering at all, so you don't get a lot of that malty like ryness on the back end.
So
it's
my wife is
a little. It's there a little bit, but not much.
So I got to tell her to open.
It's very easy to drink. I think your wife would really like this.
Yeah, and she does like
tries
German
it eventually.
Styles. Yeah, there's 2 cans in the back of our fridge. The problem is my fridge is still so full of beer that it's gotten lost in like the, oh my God, there's stuff from 12%.
And it's a little can. It's a 12-ounce can.
It's a 12-ounce can, which you would probably prefer.
And you know what? It's 7.2% in a 12-ounce can.
Holy crap! So all right. So really quick, last year, Bro Year's Eve. So it's New Year's Eve. It's 4 p.m. Two Roads kicks us all out of their tasting room, like 30 of us. There was a ton of us. And I looked back at the picture.
They turn all the lights on and they're like, get the fuck out.
They come up to us at like 15 minutes of, and like, you guys know this is last call, right? And I usually, because I'm the loud guy in the room, stand up, last call, you know, in the middle of the room. And everybody runs to the bar for one last drink because we haven't all been standing there drinking for the last 4 hours. So they have to fit in one more. So then we get outside. Like, we planned on Ubering. There was no way I was driving to the brewery. None.
Smart of you.
Of course, I'm not. No. So my wife summons the Uber, and it's like 7 minutes. Okay. We walk out, and we stand out on the road right in front of the brewery, right by where the exit is. Like 4 different cars stop, and are like, do you guys need a ride? And we're like, no, Uber's coming. It's fine. Are you waiting for the bus? No, we're fine. Uber's coming. I'm not getting in the car with any of you people right now. I don't think you should all be Ubering too. Well, there was the couple that brought our buddy Ray. One of the guys was a designated driver, and he just looked absolutely miserable the entire time he was there. but he was the one driving most of the posts. It wasn't like I was that. But I'm like, no, I'm not pilot. You have a clown car full of people right now because you brought one designated driver for 7 people. I'm not climbing on. What am I supposed to hang on to the trunk? I mean, but unfortunately,
I mean, yeah, you could, I guess.
Yeah, we're not able to do that
legal.
this year. We're not able to do it this year because of COVID restrictions. We could. No one thinks it's a safe idea. So we're going to go out and have Craig, our contributor Sean, and I are going to go out and have a quiet drink at noon in a place that's going to be, we already know it's going to be mostly deserted. Sit outside. By the way, bundle up. We're sitting outside. That's not an option. I can't wait for Sean to complain that I'm making him sit outside. He's sitting the fuck outside. Oh, he will, because there's going to be booze involved. He'll go outside because I tell him to go outside because there's beer there. So I haven't told him, by the way, we're going to Tribus. I haven't told him about their beer called Fuck It. I haven't told him it's there.
Oh, no. Does he know it exists?
Yes. Because the last time I took him to Tribus, they had it, and he refused to try it because he wanted to try 6 other beers. And I was like, okay. And then the first beer he tried, he loved. He drank the same beer all night, and I'm like, you oh, never mind. I need to try everything. Never mind. I want to drink just this. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's get on to it. Let's get to some birding.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I have done zero work on news stories.
Sure.
So my question for you, I'm going to give first.
Yeah.
My question for you is, how'd you do in your season longs? They pretty much all wrapped up this week. Any championships for the Craig this year?
Well, let's see. So my work league was bad. I finished out of 10 teams. I finished 8th because my team was riddled with COVID and injuries.
Mm-hmm.
It was just bad.
Okay.
It was so bad at the point where actually this wasn't a bad trade. I traded away Michael Thomas while he was hurt.
Yeah.
So that didn't go too well.
He had a rough year.
Our season-long league, my team was doing really well. I was on a winning streak. They decided to take our playoff week off.
Mm-hmm.
So Kamara and Devontae Adams didn't combined. I think they had 20 points.
Right.
So I lost, and then naturally the week after this past week, Alvin Kamara scored 60 or 58 points by himself. So
seriously,
that was fun.
That was just kind of like, I was in one championship game. I got destroyed. The freaking Texans posted a -20 in our system. I have never seen a team post a -20. I went on Twitter and I put out a 4-tweet blast on the lack of professional ability of the Houston Texans and how you don't have, if you go out there and you put that kind of effort out, you don't have any pride in what you do. You don't deserve to be a professional. And I'm just like, you know what? And don't anybody sit here and go, well, you're not a professional football player. You don't know. Fuck that. I'm a professional at what I do for a living, and I know if I went out there and I put out that kind of effort, I would be embarrassed and expect to be fired. So you have to have some professional integrity. So I put out this huge tweet stream basically calling out, and I tagged everybody. At Houston Texans, I think I tagged Romeo Crennel. I tagged everybody in this baseless, insane rant. And as soon as I put the phone down, I see J.J. Watt's news conference, where J.J. Watt comes out there and says the exact same thing in 50 fewer words and is 100 times more powerful. I go back onto Twitter, delete the entire string, and then just put a tag into J.J. Watt. It's like this. I'm like,
now, really quick, as a Bengals fan, I just want to point out how everyone's saying it's because the Texans are horrible, not because the Bengals were good, because the Bengals were playing with their 3rd-string quarterback,
but in his third
not
start,
starting
right?
running back.
In his 3rd straight start. And it's not like the running back they put out there was insane. It was Giovanni Bernard. He's decent. He's got some skills. He's just old at this point. So,
right.
But you know what? You don't walk out onto a field like that. They clearly showed up expecting the Bengals to roll over. And that, and I don't understand.
End of year Bengals, no matter what the record is, they're pretty good.
And I don't understand that because didn't they just beat Pittsburgh?
Yes, handedly.
You just
beat
saw
Pittsburgh.
Them
it wasn't like they won on a field goal.
So that says to me you don't care. You're walking out there, you don't care, and that's not acceptable. All right, what have you got for me?
So for me, I just want to know your thoughts on a certain quarterback who lost his job.
Okay.
Dwayne Haskins was cut by the
Oh yeah.
the Washington football team, uh, because of performance. I guess there's some things going on in the locker room they didn't like. He
Yep.
had that COVID fine.
Yep.
He seems like he's he's a talented quarterback.
Oh, no
They
question.
drafted him in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like he's not
mentally
focused.
there. Yep. He's
Not
his mental
focused. He's not there. So if you take the 3 quarterbacks that were drafted last season,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look at what his career's been so far, and he just seems he's not on the right path. And I don't know if it's because of the team he's on. I don't know if he's got personal stuff going on or if he's just not taking it seriously. But I think for him to kind of correct his career path, he needs to find a team with a lot of veterans on
Better
it
leadership.
who've been around for a long time to kind of keep him on the straight and narrow.
Yep.
But do you think he gets a chance on another team?
Oh, absolutely.
Or
He'll
is
get a chance on another team. What I said to Cinch when he asked this question, I'm like, as long as Teddy Bridgewater is a starter in this league, there's a spot for him. He may have to be backup. He might be carrying a clipboard, but there's a spot for him. Here's what I'll ask you. He went to Ohio State, right?
I think so.
Did we ever hear any of these issues while he was at Ohio State?
I don't remember any of those.
Not that I heard of, and I don't follow college football. Where's the source? He would know this. Well, one time in his second year, okay, he would know that stuff. But he didn't Johnny Manziel. He didn't run people down on the street while he was drunk or anything like that. None of that happened. So one of two things then is true to me. Either A, the leadership was there and kept him in line at Ohio State, and that leadership doesn't exist in Washington. Or B, he's always been like this, and it's just been kind of smoothed over. And now he's with an organization because he's good. Talent and winning excuse a lot of things. Ron Rivera does not strike me as a guy who suffers idiots well. So no. I don't think this has to do with a leadership vacuum unless Ron Rivera has literally introduced him to the quarterback coach and said, I'll talk to you later. Good luck, which I also don't think has happened. So,
I don't think so.
This to me it's more of an indictment of the college system and the lack of leadership there. Winning is everything in college. End of story. Everything gets glossed over if you win. And it's not like that in the NFL. Well, first off, he's not winning. He's not the best guy on the turf any day of the week now. So there's the first problem, and he's probably not used to that. He's always gone places where he is the premier player. That's probably a problem for him too. But at the end of the day, he's got to get it together. He's got to get it together. He's got to learn what being a professional is.
Yeah, because the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar. It's a business. I mean, yes, it's a sport, and they get paid a lot, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and if you're not helping your part of the business, then you're gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I get to my last question, just a quick note. Like I said, I did all my normal DFS prep. I didn't do any season long kind of what's going on in the league kind of prep.
I mean,
today.
because
the season's over for me.
It's over. Though, hey, really quick though, that random podcaster league I won, I beat my nephew in the championship.
Oh, congratulations! That's great. That was our league, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Great. Congratulations. News out of Minnesota: Dalvin Cook will not play this week. His father unfortunately passed away.
Oh.
I'm looking just to see what happened. Cook flew home on Tuesday to be with his siblings and will miss the Vikings COVID-19 test as a result, which means he will be unavailable. Obviously, the team was aware of this. His father was only 46 years old.
Wow.
Very young. That's all we need to know, and just that our thoughts go out to Dalvin Cook and his family. I mean, that's right after Christmas this happens. That's just sucks.
Would you said it was COVID related?
No, that does not say anything about COVID. The only thing it says about COVID here is that he's going to miss testing, and by missing testing, he's automatically ineligible for Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing on here about this being COVID related at all. So we don't know. The cause of death isn't given, so the family obviously wants to keep it private. So just thoughts and wishes go out to him. And then my other question for you is there was a story that came out this week, and you actually sent it to me about Russell Okung. Oh God, I'm bad with names. Russell Okung from the Carolina Panthers wanted to be paid in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not being paid in Bitcoin. His contract does not specify that, and the Carolina Panthers have said, no, this has been misreported. What is true is that Okung has said, I am going to transfer half my salary into Bitcoin as soon as I get it.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a big Bitcoin person.
He's smart. Man, if I can go back in time.
Oh, my God. So funny story. There's so many competing Bitcoin wannabes out there.
Oh, there's a ton.
And one of them is called Dogecoin, based off the stupid meme of a Shiba Inu. Okay. It trades at 0.0004 cents a coin. So that is 4 1,000ths of a penny.
Oh my God. This is like that Richard Pryor thing from Superman 2.
Right. So we buy 100 units of Dogecoin for 4 cents. And then we hope it becomes the next Bitcoin and we retire. Or what's more likely going to happen is we spend 4 cents on Bitcoin and a year from now it doesn't exist anymore and we've lost 4 cents.
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too. So I thought
because
that was funny.
the first thing ever purchased with Bitcoins was a pizza.
Was it?
Yes.
I did not know
online. This place took Bitcoins as payment, and somebody bought like 3 pizzas with Bitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
God
by the way, the reason for the erroneous article was because the player himself said on December 29th he tweeted paid in Bitcoin. So he kind of put it out there, but what he's really saying is I'm transferring my funds into Bitcoin. It's just kind of funny. But here's my question for you.
Yeah.
So, and apparently, by the way, he has a this is all a partnership thing. He has a partnership with an organization called Strike, and Strike allows you to take a portion of your paycheck and transfer it directly into cryptocurrencies. So
interesting.
So this
Bitcoin's at like $23,700 a coin.
I can tell you the exact number if you want to know it. I've got because I have it linked into my trading account, which is on my phone.
God,
I just have to smile at my phone.
Bitcoin when it started, Bitcoin was like 10 cents, 8 cents, 12 cents.
Bitcoin as of this moment, $28,840 and change.
Damn it.
So yeah, if you bought $1,000 of it when it was like $1 a share, yes, you'd be worth almost $300,000 right now. All right, anyway, so my question to you on all of this is: should it be allowed? Should the league have a policy allowing players to be paid in Bitcoin?
I think that might be hard for the NFL to do for I think like banking reasons, but I don't know. I would say yes, but I think they would have to just stick to what he's doing and he gets paid and then buys Bitcoin with it.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like the same thing of like, okay, so I'm a kicker and I'm from Canada. I want to be paid in Canadian money. No, the NFL is going to tell you, screw you, go take your check to a bank and convert it.
Yes.
That's how we do this. We're not telling you can't have Bitcoin. We're telling you we're not dealing with it.
Maybe one day when banks get fully on board with digital currency, maybe. But for now, they're going to have to stick with what he's doing.
So, okay, so that was my second question. I just thought that was a cute story, and this dude definitely wanted to bring attention to his interest in Bitcoin and his promotional opportunity. So, no question that he did that there. So, all right, let's segue. You know what time it is, right?
What time is it?
It is time for America's favorite game. America's favorite game, where Craig is given the weekly slate and tries to predict fantasy values based on the over-unders. Can Craig correctly identify the top scoring over-unders of the week without striking out? Craig, I have on my list 5 matchups out of 16 this week. 5 with over-unders of 50 plus. We're looking for DFS value right now. Give me a matchup with a 50 plus over-under. You have 3 strikes.
Okay, let's go. Falcons-Bucks.
Falcons-Bucks is absolutely correct. That's actually the lowest one of the week at 50.5.
Oh,
now
all right.
Why? Can the Bucks actually move up in the standings?
Can they?
I'm pulling it up now, so hold on a second. NFL playoff picture. I haven't looked again. Like I told you guys, I did no season long. I did all my DFS shit today, but I didn't do anything else. I'm on vacation.
The Bucks are Well, the Saints are 11-4. The Bucks are 10-5. The Falcons are 4-11.
Okay, so these guys are all eliminated. Oh, that's sad. Patriots are eliminated. Okay. The Bucks right now are the 5 seed. How is that possible? Oh, because the Saints are first in the NFL South. Okay, the Bucks are a game behind the Saints. Oh, the Saints have already clinched the division. So the Bucks have nothing to play for? No, that's not true either because the Rams are 9-6.
Oh my God, this is gonna turn into that basketball scene.
Okay, yeah, no. What I'm saying is the Bucks are in, but their playoff seeding could move. They're right now the 5 seed, but they could end up as the 6 seed if they're not careful. So they do need to play this game. So okay, so that makes sense. The Falcons have nothing to play for. The Falcons are a miserable organization, and I hope they and the Texans get on a plane and then just fly somewhere and we never hear from them again. I hope they lead happy, quiet lives somewhere other than my TV.
The Falcons, they just need to start over.
Yeah, just
start over.
Yeah. Okay, so you got that one right. You still got all of your strikes. What do you got? What else you got for me?
Let's go Chargers Chiefs.
Chargers Chiefs. That is incorrect.
Wow, Cinch would be surprised.
Well,
He's big on the Chiefs.
He would, but the Chiefs are benching half their starters.
True.
The Chiefs
Very
are
true.
locked into the 1 seed because of Pittsburgh's historic collapse. I mean, Pittsburgh's not even the 2 seed anymore. They're behind the Bills by tiebreaker. So, yeah, even if the Chiefs lose this week and go 14-2, they're locked into the 1 seed. There's no reason for them to start their starters. Give Patrick Mahomes 2 weeks off from getting hit. Yes, please. And then have the first playoff game at home. Yes, please. And then if you can get past the first playoff game, which is never a guarantee with the Chiefs, host the AFC Championship? Yes, please. So that's a strike 1. What else you got for me?
Let's go, you know what? Let's go out on a whim. Let's say Dolphins-Bills.
Dolphins-Bills is strike 2. Dolphins-Bills. Hold on, I've got it up here. I've only got the ones that are actually... There it is. It's a 44.5.
Really?
44.5. So.
All right. Okay. Wow, this is a rough week, because everyone's either benching everyone or people aren't playing.
Wait till you get to the metric and you see some of the names on the metric because people aren't playing.
See that? You know what? Let's go.
Got 1 right. Oh man.
Man.
He's a rally.
Let's go Titans-Texans.
Titans-Texans is absolutely correct. That is the highest of the week at 56 points, of which I expect the Titans will score 52 based off of the performance of the Texans defense last week. That's just miserable. Everyone on that defense should be... J.J. Watt's absolutely right. Everyone on that defense should be embarrassed. Everyone on that offense should be questioning their defense. They put up 30 points against the freaking Bengals and lost.
The third-string quarterback for the Bengals.
Yes. And
he had the most passing yards last week.
Yes. T. Higgins is in the metric this week because of last week. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right, so you got that one right. There's 3 left, but you only have 1 strike left. Come on. Ooh. Rally here.
All right. Let's go Cardinals-Rams.
Cardinals-Rams is strike 3.
Oh, man.
Wow. I can't remember. I can't remember every time you didn't get down to at least the last 2. Cardinals and Rams. Where are you? 40.5.
Really? That low?
That's shocking. Well, you know what? Is Kyler Murray going to play? I haven't seen an update on him all week.
Yeah, and isn't everyone on the Rams broken?
Well, yes, or has COVID. I mean, Cooper Kupp is on the COVID-19 list.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I mean, both those teams need to win, too. The Cardinals have a shot to make the playoffs, but they have to win. They're 8-7. They would have to win. Right now, they're on the outside looking in. They would have to win, and I think they would... I think they knocked the Rams out. Well, here it is. Oh, there's a scenario button. Oh, I don't want to watch a video.
Don't you hate that?
All right, wait. No, here we go. All right, it's one of those scroll lists. All right. Arizona clinches with a win or a tie and Chicago loss. So Arizona is win and in. So, yeah. All right, so that's actually pretty straightforward. That's not as bad as the Indianapolis playoff scenarios. Indianapolis is in if they win and Baltimore loses and ties, or Indy wins and Cleveland loses or ties, or Indy wins and Miami loses or ties?
I don't know. All I know is the Ravens should be very worried because the Bengals have won 2 in a row, so they're all like running on a high. But if you look at the Bengals' last 18 seasons, they are 17-1 on the last game of the season. So, yeah.
So, and that's not even as bad as Miami. Miami's in if they win, or if Baltimore, Cleveland, or Indy loses, or if Miami ties and any of those other 3 ties, or Miami ties and Tennessee loses. So this is kind of one of those situations where you got to watch Miami. Okay, what did Miami do? Miami didn't win, so now I need either Baltimore to lose, no. Cleveland to lose, no.
All right, so what do the Browns have to do? Do they have to win and hope the Ravens lose?
Oh, let's see here.
Just well, you know.
I'm looking. Cleveland Browns. Okay, they have 8 different scenarios as well. Scenario 1, Cleveland wins. Done.
Right.
Or Indy loses. Done. Or Tennessee loses, Miami wins and ties, and Baltimore wins or ties. Or Cleveland ties, and either Baltimore, Miami, or Tennessee lose. Or Cleveland and Indianapolis both tie. Or, oh God, sit down for this one. You ready?
Okay.
Cleveland ties, Tennessee ties, Baltimore wins, and Miami wins.
Wow.
So basically, Cleveland wins, they're in. If Cleveland loses, they need Indy to lose or Tennessee to lose and Miami and Baltimore to both win.
And the Browns are playing the Steelers.
Yes.
Are the Browns receivers back?
I don't know. No, probably.
I don't know. They beat the Jets beat them.
Austin Hooper's high on the metric this week, so
he's their only receiver.
That's it. That's a great segue. Let's talk about the metric. I'm not trying to rush this episode by any means at all, but I am so done with 2020 that this is like the last like official thing I have to do before I can just say F off 2020. I'm gonna go drink. So I enjoy the chatter and I really want to share knowledge. When Craig comes up with a question like, does the Indianapolis third string running back is he gonna play this? I don't fucking know. I am so done with this season. This season, and I've had.
Hey, I'm impressed the season made it this far.
Exactly.
In all honesty.
Exactly. This has been the weirdest season to predict, both season long and in DFS, because people have been dropping left and right, and you literally can have somebody active on Saturday at noon and they don't play Sunday at 1, and there's no injury report. It's just because a test came back inconclusive. It can just happen, and so it's been weird that way, and it's been challenging, and I'm not complaining when I say this. I'm just saying I'm ready for a break. I'm ready to go into the playoffs, to talk about a total of like 6 games a week instead of this. So before we get to the metric, I want to make one thing crystal clear. DraftKings, and its infinite wisdom, has only put 15 games on the main slate.
Why?
Because the Philly and Washington game apparently is at 8 p.m., and with their no Monday game, they decided they weren't going to do anything with the classic lineup. There'll probably be a captain's lineup for that. But because of that, I have no salaries for anyone on Miami or Philadelphia. So if you're sitting there saying to yourself, well, what about Logan Thomas? He's been really hot. He sure has. I have no idea what his salary is, so I can't tell you to use him or not. And the reason I can't tell you to use him or not is because he's not in any goddamn pools anyway, so you can't use him. Is the 2020 frustration coming across? You guys sensing this? I'm trying to push this across as best I can here. So, okay. All right, let's talk about quarterbacks. All right. Let's just move it up. Just move it along. Do a line. All right, so I said to the metric, I don't care anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm old. I feel 20 years older than I did when the season started. Then just tell me what to do. And it said, you want to know what to do? Drew Lock. Oh, you know what? I didn't tell you the other teams. So the ones you missed, Vikings-Lions is a 54.5.
Really?
Packers-Bears is a 52 because the Bears need to win that game and the Packers are the Packers. And for reasons I don't understand, Raiders-Broncos is a 51.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Raiders-Broncos is a 51 over-under.
Do one of them need to win?
No, I'm pretty sure they've both been statistically eliminated. I
they
know
are,
Vegas
so...
has. Hold on.
Yeah, they're 6-9, 5-10.
Yeah.
Why?
Vegas.
I'm sorry, 7-8.
7-8. 7-8 is actually the
10.
last team out. So 14 teams have already been eliminated. They're one of them. And Denver has been long eliminated at 5-10. So why is it? I have no idea. I have no clue.
Okay.
No clue. Probably because, John Gruden is big about metrics. He probably just wants to come out there and play his ass off and be like, "We started 8-8 in our new home. We're gonna be so much better. We're the only team that can beat Patrick Mahomes."
He is the embodiment of stereotypical football.
Oh my God, he so is.
He so is. He's amazing.
The good and the bad.
I love him.
The good
yes.
and the bad. Let's put it that way. So okay. So yeah, so that's the other one. That's the other one you missed, and consequently that ties in because the metric loves Drew Lock this week.
Really?
He's only 5K.
With Jerry Jeudy dropping so many passes?
Jerry Jeudy's also going to appear in the metric.
Oh, dear.
Drew Lock is only 5,000, and that means he's got to get 15 points to make value to save you money other places. And I've got him pegged for 17, so that puts him in the value marker. Here's what I'm going to say about that, though. With so many starters being benched and so many games, and still a handful of games like, Packers, Bears having implications, Falcons, Bucks, Tennessee, and Houston having playoff implications. I expect big big performances. So I'm not going to have trouble finding value this week. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have trouble saying, okay, well, who's resting? The Chiefs are resting people. LA is banged up. They can have their backups in. I'm not going to have trouble finding value. So I'm less likely to use a Drew Lock. What I would like to use, if I can spend up, is Ryan Tannehill, because he's got to beat Houston. He's 7K. We saw what Houston could do, which wasn't much to write home about. At 7K, that means he's 21 points, and I think that's a solid option. So I'm probably going to pay up at quarterback this week and go with a Tannehill over a Drew Lock. If I need to pay down, I'll look at Drew Lock, but I think I can get better value out of Tannehill at 7K because of the matchup. What do you think about quarterbacks this week?
So I definitely agree with you about Tannehill, especially if they have to win. And looking at Houston's defense, I don't think J.J. Watt's talk is really going to affect anything
Not this
as
year,
much as he wants it to.
No, it's going to affect whoever comes in.
Tannehill can definitely get to at least 20 points.
I think it's a lock. I think 22 points is a lock.
I think if 22 you want to go cheap. And yes, I know I'm going to sound biased, but Brandon Allen has proven the last 2 weeks that he is the Bengals' when Joe Burrow comes back, Brandon Allen is the number 2 quarterback. His timing has gotten better. He's throwing it literally to everyone.
Yeah.
And he's only 5,000. And yeah, I know they're playing Baltimore, but remember,
Baltimore
like I said, it's a division game.
Yep.
And B, the Bengals are really, really good the last week of the season.
Yeah.
Not that that's a great stat, but still, they've only lost one game in the last 18 years. The last season at home, last game at home. So
yeah, Baltimore is in the 6th spot right now. They are technically on the bubble, and like you said, the Bengals always finish strong. It's a divisional game. Here's what I'll say: the reason I wouldn't go Brandon Allen is because I think I would take Drew Lock over Brandon Allen, and they're both 5,000. So it really comes down to who do you trust more. If you're going value there, it's who do you trust more, Locker or Allen. And I'm not saying you should trust either. I'm saying if I have to pick one, I'm probably picking Drew Lock. But you're right. Could he easily score 20 points? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely he could. The Ravens are 10-5 this year. They are not looking. The Ravens have the same record as the Miami Dolphins. How did that happen?
Because if the Ravens start playing from, let's just hypothetically say the Bengals get up 14-0 in the first, second quarter.
Yeah.
The Ravens are screwed because they don't really know how to play from behind.
Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. If the playoff seeds hold right now in the AFC, let's imagine that everyone stays where they are. Our week 1 matchup is we got Bills hosting the Browns. Okay, that would be at least interesting to watch. We got Ravens at Steelers. And then we've got Miami at Tennessee. I might like the road team in all of those games. No, I don't think I'd take the Browns over the Bills. I could definitely take the Ravens over the Steelers. I could definitely take the Miami over the Titans. And I would love to see Miami beat the Titans because...
which quarterback are they going to use is the question.
Does it matter if they start with Tua and they switch to Fitz? It works. I don't care.
True.
The point, I am beyond the point of caring what teams do at this point. All I want to do is play DFS and make money. Last week was a good week. A good week. I put 3 lineups together. I said, these all look solid. I toss them out there. I doubled my money. Boom. I walked away a happy man. So, all right. So that's quarterback. So let's move on to running backs. All right, running backs. I said to the metric, what the hell are we going to do this week? He said, don't worry, I got you. You're going to use Malcolm Brown. And I went, what the hell are you talking about, Malcolm Brown? Why am I going to use Malcolm freaking Brown? And I still don't really know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I'm still looking to see, is everybody else out in LA? Henderson's out, right?
I think so. As of right now, anyway. I mean, that may change.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. I'm looking really quick. I'm looking really quick for the other Rams guys on the list, and I don't see them at all. Why am I not seeing any LA Rams at running back other than him?
Do they all have COVID?
Xavier Jones? I don't even know who that is.
Who's that guy?
So wait a minute. So where's Darrell Henderson is out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is out?
What's his name?
Oh, the other Cam Akers.
There you go.
Is Akers out? Did I miss something?
He got hurt last week. Well, I think he came back in, but I don't know.
Akers is listed as questionable. I'm looking up his news right now. Doing this live. I told you I didn't do a lot of this stuff. Rams to put Henderson on IR. Akers may return.
So there's Cam Akers. There's Malcolm Brown. There's Raymond Calais.
Mm-hmm.
Calais.
Oh yeah, no.
And then Xavier Jones.
Cam Akers is nursing a high ankle sprain and suffered in week 15.
That is not good.
That's only 2 weeks out. There's no way he's playing. So that's why Malcolm Brown is getting a lot of love, and he's only 4,300. So this is where I think I'm going to balance out. I will use some shares of Malcolm Brown. I will absolutely do it, but I'm also Derrick Henry at 9,400. Don't care. I don't. Well, 9,400. Yes. And
they have to win.
In a game they have to win against a team that made Giovanni Bernard relevant last week.
I love Gio.
The dude is the Cincinnati Frank Gore. He shows up 2 or 3 times a year. You never know when it's going to happen. Somebody just says to him, "Hey, Gio, I need you to carry the ball 15 times." So he's like, "All right."
All right.
He goes out there and he gets it done. So I'll balance Derrick Henry with Malcolm Brown. If I use the two of them as that's 13,700 for my running back core, and I'm projecting over 40 points. Done. That's easy. I'll do it. That's it. So I'm not even going to well, what about Jeff Wilson? Yeah, Jeff Wilson's nice. I don't care. Jonathan Taylor's solid. Yep. Don't need him. Kenyon Drake. I had Kenyon Drake on my fantasy team this year. He was very underrated. The dude would have 4 carries for 6 yards and 2 touchdowns every week, be like plus 14, and people were like, wow, Kenyon Drake's good. No, he's not. He's just the guy. He always gets the ball. I watched them last week. I watched every minute of that Arizona game last week. I watched Kenyon Drake 3 times get handed the ball at the 1 and fail to get in. And I don't know what the coach said to him at the timeout where they went for it on 4th down, but he just threw himself over the top of the offensive line like his kid's life's depended on it. So, all right, so that's it. So I'm gonna have a lot of shares of Malcolm Brown, a lot of shares of Derrick Henry. Who do you like this week?
You know what? I think if I spend down at quarterback, I would be able to do a Derrick Henry because he has to play, they have to win, and another one is Jonathan Taylor because they're playing Jacksonville and Indy has to win.
So if you spend $5,000 at quarterback on one of the guys we talked about, you can pair up Derrick Henry at 9,400. That's 14,400. That would be 21,800 for your quarterback and running back pairs. You'd probably have to spend down at wide receiver and tight end, but I think you can do it. I think you can easily do it. It's very doable. Let's move on. Let's talk about that. So Craig is really high at going chalk on running back and saving money elsewhere. So we say to the metric, we need to save money at wide receiver. It goes, don't worry about it. You're going to use Gabriel Davis. And I'm like, I haven't heard Gabriel Davis' name all year. But since John Brown's been out, he has quietly been piling up stats. He had his worst week last week with like 5 catches for 33 yards. Okay, and he's only 3,600. So I've got him pegged just because of the volume, because it's Miami, because it's a game they need to win, because they want to tie up that second seed and not let the Steelers come in and take the second seed. They want to play at home until they have to go to Kansas City or watch Kansas City slip up and host the AFC Championship. They have to win to do that. I think Gabriel Davis is a solid play. I said, all right, what else you got? Well, T. Higgins. Again, another game, since he plays really well down the stretch, Baltimore needs to win. T. Higgins at 5,000 is an option. And it loves Chenault. Every week, it says to me, you got to take Chenault out of Jacksonville. And last week, he was right. Chenault had a decent week. That's another one. And Chenault, I don't understand it. The dude scores like 12 points a week, but he's still only 4,200. I don't get it. It's
because he's on Jacksonville.
But he's at or over 3x virtually every week. And you know what it is? It's because he's not getting the 4 and 5x. At 4,200, he's not getting to 16 points. He's getting like 14. So he's value, but he's not like, okay, world-ending value.
Right.
And then it said, what about Jerry Jeudy? And I said, what about Jerry Jeudy? He said, well, if you're going to use Drew Lock, Jerry Jeudy, but the target share for Jerry Jeudy is very volatile. If I'm going chalk, I'm looking at Calvin Ridley because, again, that game has a high over-under, but I really don't want to touch that game. I don't want to touch that game at on Tampa Bay either. So I'm probably using a lot of these value guys. Like Craig said, if I can do that, I can use Stack Taylor and Henry. It's not a bad option.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So if I'm going cheaper on receiver this week, I am going to look at T. Higgins. Another one I'm going to look at for their team that I think they have to win, right? We didn't go over this one, but CeeDee Lamb on Dallas, he's only 5,200. He's playing the Giants.
Yes, they have to win. I can tell you what their scenario is in a second. Let me see how.
And Josh Reynolds, he's going to be starting. Well, it might be Van Jefferson too, but Cooper Kupp's out. So
yeah,
Josh Reynolds is only 3,200.
3,200. Yeah. Dallas needs to win and Washington needs to lose. So Dallas needs help. Dallas isn't just or Washington can lose and Dallas can tie. But at the very least,
Dallas has to win, so they're all going to be playing.
Yeah. Oh no, there's no question. There's no question they're going to be playing like crazy this week. So, all right. So we're definitely paying down at wide receiver to pay up elsewhere. That's what I'm hearing.
That's for me. Yes, that's what we're doing.
Well, I'm gonna help you out even further because there's a glaring value this week at tight end, and he was there last week too, and he was okay. He wasn't world-ending, but he was okay, and it's Austin Hooper.
Ooh.
12 points. I've got him slated for 12 points. He's only 3,800. That puts him over. He needs like 12. Oh, is it 9, 10, 11 points to get to 3x. I've got him at 12, and I think that is a conservative number. I think that's a conservative estimate on what he could do. Cleveland needs to win. Pittsburgh needs to win. Cleveland would love to make sure Pittsburgh doesn't get to host more than one home game. Would love it.
Yes.
After all the times that they've had trouble, Pittsburgh's going to come into Cleveland now, and this is a game. When was the last time Pittsburgh at Cleveland meant something for both teams?
1990.
Yeah, Ernest Biner was there. Ernest Biner played in that game. That's how long ago it was.
Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar was the quarterback. So I love Austin Hooper this week. I am probably going to use a ton of shares of Austin Hooper because I'm looking at other guys like Evan Engram, guys who are situational. Mike Gesicki, I've got him at 12 points too, but he's 4,200. I'm not going to even touch it. Well, what about the guys like George Kittle? No. George Kittle is 6,000 in a game that means
and
nothing.
He's broken. Well, I mean, he's playing, but I don't know if he's going to.
It means nothing to
anyone.
I
I know him getting hurt killed my fantasy season. So
yeah. Seattle has already clinched the NFC West title. Checking right now to see, can they move at all? It's reloading. They're 11-4. Well, if they won and the Saints lost, they'd be the 2 seed. That would be the only thing that could happen. Well, no, not necessarily because all right, Seattle wins and they're the 2 seed. I'm sorry. Seattle wins and the Saints lose. They're the 2 seed. But yeah, exactly. They're clinched the division. They're probably not going to go hard out on the 49ers. Man, the poor 49ers in the Super Bowl a year ago, 6-9.
Then everyone broke.
Everyone broke. And everyone was shocked by it. Everyone was shocked they broke. So who else do you like at tight end? Who are you using this week?
Again, if I'm paying up at running back, I have to find value everywhere
Yeah.
else. So Austin Hooper would probably be the most I would spend on a tight end at 3,800.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz is 3,000. Definitely, would consider him. And then the rest, I don't know. I mean, there's Jack Doyle is also 3,000, but like, I'm not going to be spending 5,800 on Mark Andrews this
Yeah.
week, or 44 on Noah Fant, as much as I like Noah Fant.
Yeah. I am plugging numbers into the systematic computer over here to see how much I can afford to spend. I am going to use Tannehill. Again, I understand we are not allowed to give out full lineups. I am just going to say if I use Gabriel Davis, I do like Chenault this week. I'm going to put him into. And you know what? Let's toss in T Higgins as the other option, right? And
Yeah.
the running backs we talked about with Tannehill, I still have 9,600 for flex and defense. So defense, I'm just going to toss in somebody who's random at like 3,100. That leaves me 6,500 for my flex. You're talking about Myles Gaskin or Zeke. It's at 6,400. Wow, Zeke's at 6,400.
Why?
Why is he so cheap or why is he so expensive?
Expensive.
He's been bad, but 6,400 isn't expensive for a running back. I mean, Montgomery's 7,700.
That's true.
Gaskin's 6,500.
Kamara's 9,500. So
is Zeke usable this week at the Giants in a game they need to win?
Maybe if you trust him. Do you trust him?
No. But the point is, it's doable.
He got that giant contract. He got COVID.
It's doable.
It's not a Zeke year.
It's doable to pay up for Tannehill, Henry, and Taylor, and then use value to make sure that you can put together a viable lineup. So okay, so that's possible. That's possible. All right, let's wrap up with defenses. Defenses, use one.
Pick one.
You know what? Let's. Do I still have the over/unders? Let's look for a game that's got a really low over/under because none of these really. Nobody's jumping out to me. Steelers Browns is only a 42. I don't want to touch that game. Jets Patriots is a 39.5.
Wow.
Is that the lowest over/under of the week? I'm scrolling. Cardinals Rams is a 40. Wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch either defense there. Washington and the Eagles aren't eligible. 43.5. So wait a minute. Let's look at here. New England Patriots defense is 3,500. I think actually the one I would like best, and I know I was talking about Drew Lock, would be Vegas. Vegas is 2,500. Can they get to 7.5 points? Probably not. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Patriots are decent. They're just 3,500 is way too much to spend up. I'm looking at the list. There are only like 10 defenses that the metric likes this week. You want to go cheap? Take the Jets at New England. What?
Yeah, New England. I'm sorry for all the people that became New England fans after the Tuck rule happened and Tom Brady's career started. Because before that, and Cinch will have to agree to this, the Patriots were not super good.
Yeah.
They were okay, but they were not great.
Yep.
So, yeah.
and believe it or not, I just looked up at the timer. We're out of time.
Oh, sad.
Last podcast of the year. We got to go to final thoughts. So, Craig, give me your final thought for the 2020 year.
I'm glad this year is over, but, just remember, just because it's going to be 2021 doesn't mean that, everything else is over. So hopefully everything will be good. And then, it kind of hit me that for those who follow wrestling at all, Brody Lee passed away. And he was only 41.
The dude who played Luke Harper?
Depending on if you watch wrestling, you may have known him as
Luke
Harper. His real name is John Huber. But yeah, he had some lung condition. He was in the hospital since October, and he passed away recently. It's kind of scary.
Yeah,
because he was only a couple years younger than us. It's it's kind of freaky.
I was this many years old when I found out Davin Cook's dad was a year older than I am.
Yeah,
and we just lost
it's
him.
crazy, right?
And we just lost him. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think, from my final thought is to mirror Craig's a little bit, is just because the number at the end of the date changes does not mean anything else around us has changed yet. So 2020 was a pretty shit year for a lot of reasons. And for most people, I don't think anyone is going to look back on this as the best year of their life. But don't forget, just because it's 2021 doesn't mean everything has changed. I go back to the old episode of South Park. Did you ever see this episode of South Park from the night Obama is elected?
No.
So long story short, they party in the streets when they find out Obama has won the election. And everybody's like, everything's going to change now. Hope is here. Everything's going to change. The next morning, he's partied so hard. Stan's father's partied so hard. He gets fired from his job. He's like, finds out that he blew his life savings on party stuff last night, buying drinks for like the entire town. He has no money left and he has no job. And he's like, but everything was supposed to be different. Just one thing doesn't change everything. One thing is progress. So yes, we're moving from 2020 to 2021. Yes, the vaccine is being distributed, and hopefully by this time next year we all have it. Don't forget, folks, that's not going to change a lot of what we do now. I'm going to get the vaccine. I'm still going to have to wear a mask.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm okay with curbside pickup for stuff going forward.
Yes, I'm fine. I've become an Amazon entrepreneur, if you would. So, you know, I mean, so I'm upgrading my computer system. So I say to Craig earlier tonight, I need to buy a webcam. He goes, I'm going to send you the one you need. And I'm like, but can I get it on Amazon? I didn't even, that's all I want to know. Can I get it on Amazon? Because I'm so used to dealing with them. So be safe. We all are happy to see 2020 go. Everyone is happy to see this year end. But don't be stupid. Be smart. Take care of yourselves. We have to get through the playoffs. After the playoffs are done and we go into our football hibernation for another 6 months, hopefully by the time training camps open in July or August, we're in a far different place than we are now, but we aren't there yet. Don't let down your guard, folks. Don't.
We're almost there, eventually.
That should be like the tagline. We're almost there eventually, right there. Put that on a pillow. But you know what you should do? You should leave us a review wherever you listen to us. iTunes, Stitcher FM, Player FM. Stitcher FM's not a real thing. Player FM, Stitcher, Podbean, all the different places. Spotify. I think we're still on Spotify. I have no idea.
I don't know. Spotify's doing some weird stuff. So we'll
wherever
find
you
out.
Listen to us, please leave us a review. Please reach out to us. We are at Fignuts DFS on Twitter. We are easily reachable in email, fignutsdfs@gmail.com. We always love hearing from people. Tell us what we got right. Tell us what we got wrong. Tell us that we should shut up because David Johnson can jump out of a pool. We don't care. We just want to hear from people. So, and as always, thank you for listening. Hi to Deb.
Hi, Deb.
So who we will see virtually tomorrow. So we were very much excited for that. But we will be back next week to start the playoff previews. My God.
Crazy.
I love it. I love it. So until then, be safe, everybody. Have a great holiday, and we will see you soon. This is the Football Fignuts Podcast. Take care.